Guys, Adam here, and welcome back to my channel and to another Wednesday edition of a throwing practice. I'm here with Big Stephen O'Coin again, and we're going to get some work done. Because there's not much else to do, we can't, the gyms aren't open, so we may as well take advantage of this time and work some technique on the throws. But I'd forgotten how much spinning in that half squat really tears your lower body apart, and my inner thighs are screaming right now. I'm sure that's not a picture you want to paint, my screaming inner thighs, but nonetheless, that's the case. So I've donned the kilt just because our season is all but canceled. Doesn't mean we can't, still celebrate the other aspects of the Scottish Highland Games, which are their tradition and history. So anyway, with that, I hope you'll stick with us on this practice, and let's get this done.
All right, so starting off with some standing putts, and this is not our heavy stone. Usually our Braemar stone weighs 22 pounds at least, and at the Truro Highland Games, we have a Braemar stone that weighs 36.2 pounds, which is called the Colchester stone. But this is a great way to warm up for any practice. And for me, with the stones are my worst event, the more work that I get in, the better. So our second stone event is the open stone, and this is the true shot put style event. It's a 16 to 18 pound stone usually, and you can use any style you choose. You have 7.5 feet to advance, and unless you have a throwing background, which I didn't before I started the Highland Games, most people will start with the shuffle and then move into the glide and then into rotational, which is where I started off. So the glide being where I'm only 5'9", I couldn't cover enough ground. So I switched to rotational, and it's been hit or miss for me over the years, but I felt it was pretty good today. And on to some 28. And once the ground gets a little drier and a little more flat, it's quite bumpy right now because of the frost. And but once it dries up and levels out, then I'll start doing some caber. And just a reminder that if you're new to this channel and haven't done so yet, consider hitting that subscribe button. So I did some single spins. I'm going to stick with these until I get my feet under me, and I felt these were pretty good. Doing those cast and drop drills really help out with getting that right foot down. And for the sprint phase here, one thing I worked on was not landing on my heel on my right foot. And if you'll watch closely, when my right foot lands here, my toes, if you picture a clock on the ground, my toes are hitting at about 6 o'clock, and I got to get that right foot around to about 3 o'clock. It's hard to get any lift out of your power position when you're really only pushing off of one leg. So I really got to make sure that I get both of those feet square around and take advantage of all those heavy squats and get lots of lift out of that weight. And that buzzing sound you were just hearing was the sounds of the COVID summer about to begin. And just on the other side of this field, there was a guy who was building a new back deck on his house. It was the same thing last summer. People couldn't go anywhere, so everyone was doing their COVID yard and house projects. But I must say that the 28 felt much better today, much like it did 2 weeks ago. I was getting a nice long pull at the end, and to have good practices are big for your motivation. Otherwise, you can get into your head pretty fast.
Okay, well, that was a pretty good practice. It was nice to don the kilt again and get some throwing in with it. I felt things were a little better today with the 28. Of course, my stone needs lots of work. It always does. And I'm going back to my old Braemar, my old standing putt style, trying to load that right leg, and we'll see where that takes me. But if you like that video, let me know by giving me some comments and feedbacks and liking the video and subscribing to my channel. And with that, have a great day, good hunting, and stay tuned for episode 47 of The Ways.